Hello friends, this is Worm, and today I wanted to talk about Operation Health for Destiny 2. And we'll talk about what that is in just a second, but first I want to give two reminders, or I guess two bullet points here. Number one, I'm going to be out of town next week. I'm going to Las Vegas, so if you don't see anything new on the channel, fear not. I'm gonna take some time off, hang out with my baby boy. We're gonna go to Lego store and cool stuff like that. Also, if my voice sounds weird, it's because I'm having some allergy stuff going on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about Operation Health for Destiny 2. And of course, Operation Health, what is that? Because I think there's a lot of you that might not know exactly what that is, but Operation Health was a patch for Rainbow Six Siege. I don't remember exactly how long ago, I think a couple years now at this point, but basically in this patch, they improved the framework of the game. The developers said, hey, we've got a lot of issues with the game right now, so we're going to take a content break, and instead of making new content, we are going to fix a lot of issues in the game. And you know, the point of this video is to talk about whether or not this idea would actually work in Destiny 2. Like if there was a patch that's, you know, instead of adding new stuff, like it doesn't add anything new. Everything is just, you know, the same old. It has nothing new. There's no new content, nothing, no new activities or anything like that. But Bungie says, hey, we're going to fix a lot of issues. We're going to make the game feel better. We're going to fix things like, I don't know, getting stuck on an end screen after an activity. We'll fix, you know, the Crucible error whenever you're, you know, in matchmaking and you get stuck in matchmaking literally forever. We're going to, you know, rework the loot. And we could even go as far to say, you know, instead of just quality of life changes, balance updates, and bug fixes, we could also say, hey, you know, during this time period, we're also going to be revamping the Vault of Glass drops. We're going to be revamping Garden of Salvation drops. We're going to be giving, you know, new or existing weapons new perks in the game and stuff like that. So that's what an Operation Health would kind of look like in Destiny 2. But would it work? And first of all, I've always been of the opinion that this wouldn't work. An Operation Health, a season of the health of Destiny 2, if you want to call it that, wouldn't work. And the reason why it wouldn't work is because Bungie is this massive company. They've got like, I guess now they have like 1,100 employees, or is it maybe 1,000? I don't know exactly how many employees Bungie has, but they have a bunch of employees. They have to be constantly paying their salaries. They've got to be able to keep the lights on. They've got to be able to keep their servers up. Like they have a lot of stuff going on. They couldn't just not make money for, you know, a whole 3-month period, right? And then we have End of the Light, and we're going to talk about End of the Light in just a second because that's one of the things that's kind of changed my mind. But that's what my opinion has been. But of course, after End of the Light has dropped, my opinion on that has kind of changed now. But let's go ahead and first of all talk about why a patch like this, why Operation Health, Season of the Health, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't work for Destiny 2. And as I previously stated, money is a big issue here. Like I said, Bungie is a massive company. You know, Destiny is their only game. When a company only has one game, they are really putting all their stock into that game. They don't have the option of just, you know what, we're not gonna produce any content. Our other games can support us for a 3-month period of time. Like Bungie doesn't have that. They don't have other games that they can just turn to for support. Destiny is the only one. So that's a big thing. And I think that players, you know, I think a lot of people, they don't realize how big of a factor money is in Destiny 2. And yes, I will say that, you know, it's gotten to a point where, okay, I feel like the higher ups or whoever it is at Bungie is a little bit more money hungry now than actual quality of life for players. But that's a topic for a different video. But if there's no new content, then there's not really any new money. And yes, I know that Destiny has the Eververse store, but I don't think the Eververse store is gonna cut it necessarily without some big changes, and we'll talk about those in just a second. But also, another huge issue with an Operation Health or a Season of the Health, we'll call it Season of the Health from now on, is players would drop off. And this is nothing new for Destiny. Of course, every season we get a massive influx of players, and then as the season goes on, they trickle off and it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, 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 until new content drop. Then it goes way back up and then it goes down, down, down. You know, and so it's this kind of cycle doing the same thing. In a situation where Bungie does a Season of the Health, like, you know, patch, so to speak, they're not going to be having any new content. So even things like Into the Lights, where we get new content, like nothing is there to inject players back into the game, right? And that's another big issue, because of course people playing the game, like that's what's putting your game on the charts. Like Destiny 2, has been at the top, or has been, I think, in the top 25 on Steam charts for, I don't even know how long. But it's got like an average, or it's got like, I don't know how many exactly daily players, it's like 50,000 daily players or something. I hope that's right. On Steam, like that's on average. It's got like almost 600,000 Steam reviews. Like it's a big game, okay? But as big as it is, if there's nothing new coming in, those players will fall off, and that's going to hurt your game. That's going to hurt your reviews and stuff like that. So, you know, there's that aspect of it, and why I don't think an Operation Health, or I'm sorry, a Season of the Health would work necessarily. But the other thing I want to talk about is, let's assume that we give them that 3-month time period. Like, let's just pretend like, hey, you know what? Okay, they're going to do Season of the Health, so there's not going to be any new content. Like, that is all banking on the fact that Bungie can actually fix the issues that they plan to fix. Because there's been some issues in Destiny 2 that have been in game for a very, very long time, and they just have never been fixed. You know, like I said, the getting stuck in orbit after a Crucible game has been in the game basically forever. Getting stuck on an end screen has been in the game basically forever. And it's like, okay, like, yeah, they're saying, oh, we're gonna fix all this stuff, blah, 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 but like, are you going to be able to fix it? Like, if we give you this 3-month time, are you going to be able to fix it? Or are you going to be too concentrated on, oh, let's add this perk on this weapon from Volta Glass and this perk on this weapon, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you know, I would like to believe in my heart of hearts that Bungie would get it done, but they've also shown in the past that they're not the best at getting stuff done. I mean, now that we're coming up to the final shape, and they've kind of had a oh crap moments, like, yeah, like the game's on a good track. It's going uphill. The final shape's looking really good. Into the Light has been a lot of fun. Like, we're looking at a good future of Destiny. But again, Bungie's track record not been the greatest when it comes to getting stuff fixed and stuff. So those are the reasons why I don't think that a Season of the Health would necessarily work in Destiny 2. But I want to talk about why it potentially would work in Destiny 2 now. And the main thing is, it goes back to money. Just because there's no new content, like, you know, it doesn't mean that there's no money to be made, right? It doesn't mean that you're not gonna have any money. And this is something that, like, I don't know why Bungie hasn't tapped into this more, but the Eververse store has huge potential. It has huge potential. And let's be honest too, if we're taking a 3-month period to just fix bugs and to change quality of life stuff, like, does that mean that the cosmetic team, which I don't know, again, I don't know how it's distributed or how it's divided, I should say, I don't know if there's a cosmetic team at Bungie, but like, what would the cosmetic team have to do for the next however long besides just add new stuff? I mean, one of the biggest things that I love about Destiny is, of course, the cosmetic side of it, right? The ability to change the appearance of your Guardian. Like, during this time period, like every other week, I feel like the cosmetic team could come up with a new really cool armor set. You know, hey, here's this new really cool armor set. It's $10. That's all it is. Like, people would buy that like candy. Like, everybody likes to complain, oh, the Eververse store is too expensive, blah, blah. Like, guys, it's that expensive for a reason, and that reason is because people buy it. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. Like, they have the potential to really make good money. Probably not as much as they would if they had a full release of new content and stuff, but at least, like, you would have the ability to make more money if you just dedicate a team to, you know, the cosmetic team to, hey, we're going to add these ornaments for these weapons. You know, pick a weapon that has no ornaments. I think there's a couple of exotics that still have no ornaments. You could even start adding legendary ornaments to the game. I think that would be awesome. Like, I know players would buy that up, you know, and all these cosmetics that come out are silver only. And I know a lot of people don't like the idea, oh, silver only, that's blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Like, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, it's not affecting your play, right? It's just cosmetic. And I am pretty sure that Bungie actually has also had a really good track record of not having anything that is pay to win, with the exception of the Collective Obligation ornaments, because Collective Obligation's current scope is god awful, but the ornament makes it so much better. But with that being said, they really have, like, I don't think that finances are a good excuse as to why. Not only that, but look at Into the Light. Like, Into the Light is a completely free content drop. Like, there is no, like, you don't have to pay for this content drop, and you get a load of awesome weapons. You get a really fun activity. Like, you get a lot of stuff with Into the Light, and you didn't have to pay for any of it. And that's why I've changed, you know, that's one of the reasons why I've changed my mind, is because, you know, now that we've seen this, we're seeing a 6-month long season with a completely free content addition. I think that's having a Season of the Health could work. And again, I think somebody might say, well, we've had a 6-month long season before, back in Season of the Lost. Yes, Season of the Lost was 6 months long, but do we remember what came right in the middle of Season of the Lost? It was the Bungie 30th anniversary, and that 30th anniversary cost $30. So again, that was an injection of money into the economy. With Into the Light, it's not like that. It's completely free. But not only that, here's another reason why I think that Season of the Health would be a good idea for Destiny 2. And it's because it would bring back players that have left the game. Now, obviously, every new expansion, every season brings back players, but I think there's a huge number of players out there that have stopped playing Destiny 2 for a variety of reasons. And if you have a season dedicated to fixing a bunch of stuff in game, you might see people come back. You might see people say, oh my gosh, like, hey, they fixed that Crucible bug, and all I wanted to play was Crucible, but I got the bug every time I played, so I stopped playing. Those players would come back. You know, oh, hey, we fixed the balance changes, so now shotguns are not so powerful. Hey, that was a really big problem I had with the Crucible. Now I want to go test it out. You know, hey, they've, I don't know, brought back Volta glass weapons with new roles, like whatever it is. I think that if you do this, if Bungie were to do this, people would just start trickling back into the game. You know, and at first, yeah, you'll see that big decline over that 6-month period, but then you get to a point where it's like, okay, now it starts coming back up, you know, and then especially at your next maybe content drop, like maybe instead of doing Into the Light, like right before their next yearly expansion, they do a Season of the Health. And then they bring out this expansion that brings back all these players. All of a sudden, these players, they're playing through in, you know, the Final Shape. We'll just use Final Shape as an example. They're playing through Final Shape. Then they go into their Crucible matches, and they go to their, you know, raids, and they go for their loot, blah, 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 whatever it is. And they're starting to see, oh, wait, this thing that made me leave Destiny 2 has been fixed now. Well, now I want to come back and play. So, you know, in terms of player retention, you're looking at a long-term fix for this. And that's why I think that it would work. But I don't know. I think that also it's about time that we had one. You know, Bungie at this point, in my opinion, Bungie's kind of on its last leg right now. Like, they're really banking on Final Shape to work. And we've kind of seen that with the reveals of Prismatic and the Dread and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's kind of it for you know, my thoughts on that. I want to hear your thoughts on Operation Hell / Season of the Health for Bungie. I've told you the reasons why I don't think it would work. I told you the reasons why I think it would work and why it would be good, but I want to hear yours in the comments below. Of course, if you like today's video, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content. And guys, do me a favor, watch the videos you see on the end screen, because for whatever reason YouTube thinks you will like them. I will see y'all next time. Bye for now.